Wow, welcome to the witching hour. Hey, I just want to start the show out by thanking that goat metal show crew. I won, shared my winnings, and they sent me my Kai Pure Hawaiian Death Metal shirt. I'm fucking coking nuts over this. This is a cool ass shirt. So thanks to them guys for doing that and sending that out. Appreciate it. And I gotta get out of here in a while, so we're gonna come in hot. I'm bringing Jeff on right away, so let's get Jeff into the studio. Here you go. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, guys? Great to
How's
be
it?
back.
Yeah, man. So you went to Brazil.
Yes, we did what everybody always requests, which is we came to Brazil.
Yeah. Please
I've,
come to Brazil, and you
yeah,
you did it.
yes, I've actually come to Brazil a couple of times.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
my third time there, although I hadn't been there in 20 years, so that was a big deal for me, a big homecoming of sorts. We did it again with Tumba Productions, who they're absolutely the best in the business for like extreme and underground metal.
Uh
Eduardo
huh.
runs a fantastic production. He did 20 years ago when we did the second one ever with Dark Funeral, and he's doing it even bigger and better now, um, all these years later. Um,
Oh shit, it's the same guy.
yeah, it
Wow.
is.
How
Yeah,
cool is that? I didn't realize that. Wow.
that tells you something. He's also the drummer in Nervo Chaos, which they've been around forever.
Oh
So,
yeah, dude.
yeah, so he is a lifer and he's the real deal. And I would say that if you want to go see a really excellent festival that's kind of like on par with the European productions, but you want to do it for like a fraction of the cost, Setembro Negro is your ticket because it's cheap to be there. It's a lot of fun. The audience is still hungry for it. They're appreciative and they're passionate. They're not just bored and jaded and we've seen Dimmu Borgir before, or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody coming in with Bacchanitis, from seeing all those gigantic festivals. No, they still love it. They still appreciate it, and it hasn't changed at all since I was there last. Just the fervor for it and just the outpouring of just response was incredible. Um, so yeah, it was great. We're gonna show several clips tonight of exactly that, and you guys can see what it was all about. Great production, great light show, great sound, great venue, great everything. Just amazing.
Damn. So let me ask you this. You kind of covered some of the things I already want to ask about, like what is the fan base, the South American fan base. But it seems like any type of show that gets posted, that was down there, it always seems like it's a good show, especially with any type of a legacy band. So let's go over real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What bands did you like play with? Because I saw the flyer, I was like, damn, this is a heavy hitting fest, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was big, and a lot of those bands were firsts to Brazil. That was the first time to come to Brazil,
Oh,
and
gee, they did go. Yeah.
there was Overkill. They were one of the headliners.
Damn.
1349, Triptychon playing the Celtic Frost set. I'll get to that in a minute. Macabre, their first time ever in their 40 years of existence to play Brazil. So that was a big deal.
Wow, badass, dude.
Yeah. Primordial and Verathron, who are awesome. Incantation, Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cults. God, those are just the bands. I don't have the flyer in front of me, but those are the bands off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean that's already like that's a heavy duty show. Yeah.
Candlemass was a huge hit.
Yeah, yeah.
I and Aversifera, we were direct support for them back in 2006, which was just surreal to be. And
In Brazil?
Yes.
How weird.
That
Wow.
was Messiah era too, so that was really something. That was super, super cool.
Dude.
But, yeah, and I'll pepper the show with stories about Aversifera in Brazil versus now, because I don't think I've definitely not told it on here, and some of you guys have never heard it before. And we do have fans and supporters from Brazil, I think, watching this feed as we speak. So,
Oh, that'd be cool. Hell yeah.
hello, yeah. I also believe my nephew Noah is watching tonight. So hey, Noah, thanks for joining us.
Ah, how cool is that, dude?
Yeah, thank all of you guys for joining us. I think they did play The Hitchhiker, by the way, from Macabre. They played a lot of classics, which was really, really cool because I'm a big fan of early Macabre material. I'll talk about all that too. Um, so, Do we want to kick something off and just kind of get everybody in the mood, and then I'll regale you with all my
Yeah.
theories.
Let me. Any particular one you want me to start off with, or just?
How about Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult, if you have it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me get it all queued up over here.
yeah.
Do 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 do. Hold on. Let me get it full screen before I share. All right, we're gonna check out some Darkened Nocturne Slaughter Cult in Brazil. Here we go. From the fest Jeff played. How cool is that? All right. There you go, dude. That was fucking killer.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And as you can see, that room was full. That was 3,000 people. Excuse me, I was just eating something. That was 3,000 people between the floor and that big wraparound balcony.
Damn, 3,000. Jeez.
Yeah, just about. Somewhere in there. It was sold
in that
out.
number, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how it is these days, but when we first went to Brazil, when we first come to Brazil, the way Eduardo explained it to me was that they sold like a certain number of tickets. Like they went, oh yeah, we stopped counting at like 2,800 or something, you know. And so generally, I think those rooms were probably full to fucking capacity every time, you know, because they were jammed up. I mean, this show was jammed when we played the festival before. It was jammed. I mean, people show up. It's amazing.
Now, is it considered? I mean, I know not like the giant, but one of the bigger underground festivals in Brazil.
Definitely. Yeah. And Tumba is one of the leading booking agents for anything extreme. You know, again, it's been around a long time. Very reliable. Very good at what he does. And
he's always touring too. His band as well.
Yeah, so he's going to Europe and going to Asia and taking a lot of bands with him. He brought Immolation down to Brazil very recently, and that went really great. So yeah, he's the man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you get hooked up with him in Brazil, your show is going to be solid.
Yeah, and you're going to get treated right. I mean, it was amazing too, because it was the typical situation where we were all in the same very nice hotel, and so when I say all of us, all the bands on the package were all in the same very nice hotel. We were getting shuttled back and forth, but it was so cool because we basically just take over the lounge and the lobby area every night. It was just all the guys and bands.
All the bands, yeah, for sure.
People catching up, people meeting each other for the first time. That actually happened. I finally got to meet Oniliar and Renee, who's also in the band Purgatory, who are both in Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult. Purgatory is a killer band, really venerable German death metal band. You should check them out too.
Yeah, I remember that name.
But yeah, I was really thrilled to meet them. I had always really thought a lot of Oniliar and Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult. And
yeah, I mean, they've been putting out great stuff for decades, you know, now. So and, you know, it's cool. Her story is very interesting as well, too, you know, with her battle with cancer and coming back. And
yes. Yeah. She clawed it all the way back from that. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, a lot of respect for her. I mean, she's the real deal. Absolutely. And you just saw it. She's very, very serious. Really convincing as a black metal presence. I mean, she really gets it. So yeah, a lot of admiration for what she does.
Yeah. They were probably like one of my favorites from like maybe like around 2000 and 2005, you know, for black metal. They were just coming out with ripping albums, man.
Yeah, they started.
They do the split with Pyre way back when and all that. Fucking badass, man.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Versifera was supposed to play a show with Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult in 2002.
Oh, really?
The Czech-German border. And because we were playing Open Hellfest, the logistics got screwed up and we couldn't do it. But I had been in contact with her way back then, just briefly, about that show. And then we were always aware of each other, but we didn't ever get to meet or anything. So you know how that goes.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes I forget who I've been in contact with.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I've written this person before.
I love it when people tell you that too. They go, yeah, you wrote me back in the fall of 2006. You're like, okay, yeah, I must have. You know?
I sent a lot of shit back in the day. I don't remember. Yeah, I thought I met Rob like for the first time, right? Way back. Well, I mean, you know, on the internet, you know, when we started talking. He goes, nah, dude, I ordered the HOD demo. And he sent me a picture of the HOD demo.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and it was totally my writing on it. And I was like, oh, damn, I did. Yeah. Okay, you know, that's just one of those quick stories like, well, we've already been in contact. Yeah, okay, Aaron's having a hissy fit about Imprecation playing tomorrow. He's asked like twice. What time does Imprecation play tomorrow? Do you even know?
Yeah, I do.
Can you
Hang
even
on.
say? I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Let me just quickly glance. So,
Speaking of Hod, Aaron,
yeah.
he'll get the reference.
I was
Okay,
just
what
gonna.
time?
I was just gonna say it's so funny because yeah, we are direct support for Beharit in Houston tomorrow. But there's a funny feeling about when a show is sold out. You don't feel like you even need to talk about it anymore because nobody else needs to know. You know, I
What
mean,
are you going to promote? Like, standing outside listening?
yeah, I mean it's fucking cool. We're really excited. But to answer your question, Imprecation goes on at 10 p.m. The sweet spot,
Oh, that's
and
perfect spot. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Beharit's on at 11:15. Morbosadon is at 9 p.m. Unholier is at 8 p.m. and True Iron Will is at 7 p.m. Doors at 6:30 p.m. So if you do have a ticket, those are useful things to know.
Yeah. So,
So
get there for Warboat. Just kidding, everyone. Just kidding. Don't
yeah,
get mad. Hey, happy birthday in 2 hours roughly, Miss A. I saw your message.
yeah. Happy
Yeah, but
birthday.
10 p.m. is the sweetest time slot
I
for
love playing at 10 p.m. I don't care
Yeah.
for the second band on or the second to
Yeah,
last
no,
band
it does.
on.
Yeah,
Just
it doesn't matter. 10 p.m. is the perfect time.
yes,
That's the
yes.
best time to get.
Yeah, it's really great to be able to say that we played in Brazil at 4:30 in the afternoon on Saturday, and we had a full fucking room. Um, that I mean, I expected that, but there was like some worry going. It's like, oh, this room's so
Yeah.
cool and it's so big. Hope everybody's going to show up. I mean, but we got there at like 2, and there was like a line snaking around the whole neighborhood. They line up early and they get in early and they watch all of it. It's really cool. I mean,
Unlike kind of like what we do over here, we show up later and
yeah. And that's kind of why sometimes I am admittedly loath to mention what time bands are playing. I'm like, just fucking show up, please. Nothing against Aaron, but still, it just
I know what you mean. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Just
saying.
like my shitty comment earlier.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's just like don't worry about it. Just come on out.
the show says 7 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually do the math. It's like how long does a band usually play?
Yeah.
And then count it forward. I had to do that as a stage manager for forever, so now I'm hyper aware of that. But yeah, just a few things I'll say. The scheduling in Brazil for speaking of set times has gotten tighter since I'd been there last. I mean, Edu and Tumba, they run it pretty well, but I mean, there was still definitely this inertia about getting the band started and up on stage and everybody moving in a reliable way. The first time we were there, like in Belo Horizonte, when we played with Dark Funeral back in 2003. I mean, that was a massive show. Again, almost 3,000 people. If you look at the live album that Dark Funeral put out from that period, it's just the shot of them on the stage.
Uh-huh.
It's in
I
Latin.
know what you're talking about.
That was our crowd. That was that room. It was a
Live in Brazil. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that at CD. Yeah.
big sports arena, and there was 2 regional openers, and the one band that was like supposed to open the show, apparently they were late or held up in traffic, which is totally believable down there. Oh my god, the traffic is fucked. It's like LA times 10.
Oh,
It's
is that
really
even
bad.
possible? Shit.
Yeah, because I mean, I think Sao Paulo is like twice the size of LA. There's like 16 million people in the metro area alone. 16 million. So that's a lot. Mm. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Outrageous.
Yeah, but that was surreal because we're driving down the street to the venue. We're in the van, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm seeing all these people in black shirts, like lined up kind of at every corner, waiting for the crosswalks, right? And I look out the window, and I said to Edu, I'm like, "Wow, there's a whole lot of people coming to the show." He goes, "Oh no, that's the line to get in." And the line to get into the show was going down like about 6 blocks. Everybody's having to wait at the corner to wait in line, which was that was exciting. But then, as I was saying, the the first band had not arrived because they were caught in traffic. The second band, the second local opener, was already there, and we were now behind schedule. They were just sitting there in the backstage chatting with us, and I finally looked at them and I said, "Hey, it's time for a band to go on stage." And they said, "Oh yeah, but we're waiting for the other band to show up." And I said, "No, the opening band is you." And they kind of looked at me and looked at each other, and then they like turned around and went and got on stage.
Dude, I know. So, what does that matter? You're not in that band. Get out of here with that. Trying to get on later.
I said, "No, you are the opening band." And they they realized what I was saying, and then they got up. And to their credit, they just got right up and did it. And then
no argument at least. But that's funny. Oh, well, we're waiting for all the other bands. No.
Yeah.
It don't work that way. Yeah, it's funny they tried it though.
Yeah. And nowadays, I mean, I don't know. This has probably been true longer than not. But when we played that show in Belo Horizonte, there was no barricade. It was just a crowd right up against the stage, which I love. I hate the barricade.
Yeah.
But, what that meant, though, was that people were able to break loose and jump up on the stage.
Of course. Some mania.
Yeah, and, Aversa Firo, we're not European black metalers who, like, grew up on Wasp. We grew up on Slayer, and that was not a big deal for us. We're basically, we came up in the thrash scene, like so many of us did.
So you're just used to people's stage diving and whatever the case.
Oh, yeah. Dude got up on stage and... we're going for it, and like we saw him, and then we both headed towards him, and I could see the whole crowd just going, "Oh!" They thought we were going to get him, and instead we kind of did the Judas Priest thing where we lined up with him, we were playing,
yeah,
and then it just broke loose. The whole crowd tried to get up on the stage. Everybody's like, "I want to do that too!" And there's like all these kids pogoing around. Now, if you've ever seen any of those, moments to catastrophe video shows where like stages in like the Philippines or
where just everything falls apart.
It felt like that because the stage is going and I'm being an irresponsible asshole because there was these very very honorable security guards all in suits. The place we were playing was a police gymnasium, so they were all like off-duty cops. But they didn't beat on anybody. They just kind of made this human chain and just stood up there with their hands out, trying to make everybody stand back. And I am reaching in between them, pulling kids up onto the stage. It was very, very unorthodox for a black metal band, but that's just where we were at. And man, it made a difference. We actually, I'm proud to say, it wasn't a competition, but we outsold Dark Funeral on merch that night. So
that's kind of a big deal, especially back then.
Yes, I mean Dark Funeral was definitely better known than us, but we were known in Brazil already, so that really helped.
Didn't you do Brazilian TV or something?
Yes, I'll tell that story too.
This dude got on Brazilian TV.
Yeah, our first show with Dark Funeral was in Brasilia, which is a smaller city to the north. It's like a 10-hour drive away from Sao Paulo, so that was definitely an experience driving 10 hours on those highways in a van. I hear things have gotten better since then, but it was bumpy. I mean, we'd be like half asleep driving through the night and then be like, bang! And we're like, oh shit! So I thought we'd been in a collision, and it just was the road changing grade because like apparently from state to state, the roads are in different levels of repair. So sometimes you almost feel like you're driving up a stairway. You're like, and having to go to the next level.
Yeah, Jesus.
So we got to Brasilia, and that was a great show. It was a little smaller, but the kids were way, way into it. And it was so funny because when I went to the Brazilian consulate in fucking Houston to get our paperwork, there was some technicality with the paperwork, and the bureaucratic motherfucker at the counter was giving me all this grief. And not that it matters, but to tell the story correctly, he was Chinese, and he's going, "No, if you don't have the right paperwork, you could get arrested because you're there illegally. You're working, but you're not supposed to be." And I'm like, no, it's an exhibition. We're not getting paid. This was true. We're not getting paid for that first run. I mean, it was all expenses paid, but we weren't technically getting.
You weren't getting paid, yeah. To perform.
I mean, yeah, we actually were, but not on paper.
The way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy goes, "What will you do if you show up on television there and they realize you were not supposed to be in the country?" And I'm like going, dude, this is black metal. We're not going to be on TV. You know, I'm trying to argue with the guy. We ultimately got it sorted out. I had to get the paperwork amended. It was bullshit. Anyway, then we get down to Brazil and we finish the show, and the promoter walks up to us and he goes, "Hey, there's a television crew here. Do you guys want to be on Brazilian TV?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And we walk outside, and it was hilarious. It was like eyewitness news, like a guy in a suit, and he like walks up, and he's got the mic, and it's the big pro camera, you know, with the big, you know, on it.
Yeah, big old school ones.
Yeah, and he's going, oh no, that's funny. What you doing? You can't do that. You know, yeah. Anyway, but this guy in a suit comes up and he's speaking in Portuguese, but obviously I knew what he's kind of saying. He's like, "We're here with Texas black metal, you know, American band Versafira. They are playing for the first time in Brazil." And he's like, and then he says in English, "Hello, welcome to Brazil. How are you doing?" You know, and you know, we're standing with our paint and spikes on and everything. I'm going, "Oh, it's fantastic to be here," or whatever. And I'm going, "Holy shit, we're actually on Brazilian television." That guy was completely right.
And you're like, yeah, we talking about you crazy
like,
Chinese guy.
You don't
gonna be on
know.
TV.
Yeah, this isn't any big thing. Yeah, no, it was.
You're thinking you're gonna play like the DMZ or something.
yeah, we're gonna play Backroom maybe if we're lucky. You know, something like that. But yeah, so that was really cool. Now,
did he? You know, when he was watching the news that night. That's that son of a bitch.
Yeah,
there he is. He went lying.
I knew he lying. I knew he lying. No. The thing that's really funny, this even came up on television. The thing about Brazil, I think this is true in South America in general, but they're really proud of their women. That's their biggest cultural export, is the reputation of their women. Their women, that a lot of Brazilian women are very pretty. It's very true. And at the same time, I've never met a culture that's more excited for you to mix it up with their women. You know, it's like that.
Yeah, okay, let's hear about this. What?
Well, everywhere I go down there, they're like, "So, what do you think of our women?" And it's like, what? You know? I was like, they're very nice. You know, I have a few friends in Brazil who are women. You know, and it's like they're just cool people like everybody else. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a cuisine. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're about. Very tasty.
Yeah, have you tried the Brazilian barbecue? Yeah. Oh, have you tried the Brazilian women? It's like, okay. I mean, but that's the thing that they do. But I could not believe that the TV reporter asked me this. He's like, "So, what do you think of Brazil so far?" I'm like, "Oh, it's fantastic. The crowd's been great. You know, we love being here. They've been so supportive, blah, blah." He goes, "What do you think of our women?" And I'm like, and I pulled it out of my pocket, and you guys won't know what this is, but there was this show, like this daytime game show in Brazil called Ache, or H, Show H. That's what it's called. And there's this really hot Brazilian girl with blonde hair who looked like kind of like she was done up like I Dream of Jeannie. You know, she had like the veil, which was called Feiticeira, which means like fairy down there. But she was like one of the co-hostesses, and she like come out and do a little dance and like be the judge of whatever contest it was. And it would pan into the audience, and it was like all 20-year-old dudes going insane, which was the funniest part. Yeah. All these young guys like, "Yeah, Verticia," you know.
Like a cartoon from the 30s or something.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, so I just kind of blinked. When the guy asked me, I couldn't believe he was asking me the question about the women. And I just went, "Well, they're great, but where's Feiticeira?" And everybody started laughing, and I like grabbed the mic from him, and I was looking at the camera going, "Feiticeira, where are you, Feiticeira?" You know,
kind of hammed it up good, yeah.
Yes. So that was, I would give anything to see a tape of that broadcast. It was live, so it's one of those things.
Somebody got it somewhere, you know that.
I want to believe that they do, but it's never been posted on YouTube or anything, to my knowledge. If you guys know about it, let me know, please, obviously. But
maybe some Brazilians watching can go dig through their friends' archives or something and find it. That'd be awesome. I want to see that. Shit.
There is footage of us playing in Belo Horizonte to that crowd going berserk, and that tape is lost. The guy who filmed it lent it to a different guy so they could copy it because he had like 2 VCRs. And then the guy they lent it to just disappeared. No one knows what happened to him. He just literally just vanished. I don't know if he was killed in a car accident or whatever.
Whatever the case.
But that tape is lost, and I'd give anything to see it.
Damn.
Yeah.
One of those situations.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring it back to modern times. After we talked about Versafera, but let's talk about Imprecation down in Brazil.
Yeah, we can go ahead and play that next because I know Aaron is chomping at the bit.
Yeah, we'll play the song and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just go ahead.
Get it set up here. All right, here we go. Imprecation in Brazil. Dude, that's cool. Ooh, all right. Dude, that fucking was really sounded good, man. Was that soundboard?
No, that was
No,
room.
just the
That was
room
just the
mix.
room.
Sound good.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah,
job.
and I love that light show. It looked really great, just really immersive. I liked it. They had the LED with the logo. That was great.
Yeah, that looked real cool. And what was I going to say? And the crowd and sound and the multi-camera was nice too.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I guess that guy had a couple of them set up. There's a lot of handheld footage of us also floating around out there already, but yeah, that was really great. And again, that was an introduction for us. I mean, a lot of people knew who we were, obviously, but at the same time, we had new people going, man, I'd heard about you, didn't know much about you. So glad I saw it.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, very cool, dude.
Mhm.
Wow,
Well,
nice.
the the age stratification was like, old schoolers all the way down to kids in their 20s, so it was arranged like, and there's a lot of luminaries from the Brazilian scene there, like Armando from Mystifier was there, and
Oh, nice.
guys from Headhunter DC. They had another band called a Leprivore, and they were good. They were one of the openers. So yeah, I'll just a lot of people knew like Tonio from the Sepultura fan club, who always used to look after Versifero when we go down there. he had a
Oh,
he had his own little mob crew, and
oh yeah, that's cool.
yeah, like I'll talk about that. There's a really cool place in downtown Sao Paulo called Galleria do Rock, and it's basically just this 5-story mall of nothing but rock and metal stores, and it's really
Oh
famous.
yeah, yeah, I heard about that.
Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, like when we went back the first 2 times in the O's, it was amazing because it was like record store after record store after record store. All these underground labels all had their flagship store, like their home base in Galleria de Rock. And also the Sepultura fan club was there, and that was Tonio and his crew. And we got friendly with them. We went to visit. When we first went there, we were there with Dark Funeral, of course, and that was really interesting because we did a meet and greet, and the place is kind of open. I don't know if you ever seen this, but like it was a mall, but it was like open air. Like it didn't have a front or a back on it. It just had the open floors within like the storefronts inside,
Uh huh.
and helps keeps the place cool without having to pay for air conditioning. Very old school kind of building. But then up on the roof, they had like a patio, like a covered patio area for the whole floor. It was like I don't know what it was for, but it was basically a roof patio deal, and it had because it had just natural ventilation. It had those kind of wells, like holes through all the floors on each level, surrounded by railings. Like a stairwell is.
Yeah.
When you look down the center, but there was no stairs. Like the stairs were off to the sides, but they just used these wells for ventilation, like holes on each level that just went straight down and had railing around them. You couldn't have that in the U.S. Somebody would fall right over it, and then there'd be a lawsuit. But
Oh yeah. Totally. Totally.
the thing I'll never forget about that is that when we were there with Dark Funeral and had the signing, Edu told us that there was a lottery, and I think I want to say it was either 300 or 500 people. I can't remember, but he said, yeah, you had to have a lottery to actually be able to go to the signing because they didn't want the whole place just jammed with people. So they had to
Yeah, madhouse. Yeah.
they actually had to limit who got to go. And I'm like, oh, really? And I looked over the railing from the whatever the breezeway, the wells, and all the people waiting to come see us were all lined up around each ring of the well all the way down. I stuck my head over the edge, and they're like, yeah, So that was a great feeling. Really exciting. But these days, it's still a cool place to go. Definitely recommend checking it out if you go. It's a dangerous neighborhood. I mean, it's a commercial area, but it's kind of like, it's a little bit dangerous, apparently. If you go out and go right into the building, they do have private security, and they keep all the weirdos and homeless people and stuff out of there. So they're doing their job. It's safe once you get inside.
You just got to get in there quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We weren't going to get like eaten alive or anything. It's just, you just don't stand around and bullshit on the sidewalk out there. Someone's going to come up with a
Something's going to happen. Yeah.
start a glass with tape wrapped around it and make you give him your wallet, These days, admittedly, things have changed, because so much has gotten onto virtual commerce and everything. There's still a couple of really cool record stores. There's Mutilation Records. Cheers to them. They were really, really cool to us. And a lot of stores like vintage vinyls that you can dig through and find a lot of cool things. Then at the same time, a lot of the stores have basically become kind of almost like Hot Topic, where you can get like, an Iron Maiden reprint shirt. And I mean, they still have a lot of cool stuff in there. It's just, it's not going to be boggling. It's not like, holy shit, this ultra rare, whatever shirt from 1992 or what have you.
Yeah, those are probably all gone by now.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just, the world has moved on from that. But I'll say this much, like, unfortunately for people in Brazil, I think our money is worth almost 3-1 on theirs right now. So if you want to go down and like stock up on a bunch of shirts and CDs and all kinds of crap, I mean, anything you want, I mean, with the American dollar, you can do that easily and support their economy at the same time. So you might as well.
I mean, how can you complain, right? 3-1.
Yeah.
Get your fill in some gaps in your collection, or just add in some more shit, dude. That type of economy commerce.
Yes. When we went back the second time, they had gained ground, and I think it was like $1.75 to our dollar. They actually had closed the gap significantly. And I found a copy of the Slayer versus Slayer vinyl, but it was priced accordingly. It was like 200 Brazilian dollars, which is like 125 American.
About what you would pay for.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I wish I had, but
that's one of those ones. Like when you find out in a while, damn it, should I do it?
It was too much. It just wasn't reasonable.
Yeah. Now, if you had that 3-1,
I would have done it.
Yeah, it would have worked out.
Yeah, and also at that point in my career, I was barely working for a living. I was touring and all that, so I didn't have all this money. Now I could have absolutely done it. I would have like, here you go. You got another one? Give it to me.
Yeah, I'll have one I frame and one I play.
Yeah. And it was so funny too, because there was lots of, I shouldn't say kids, but people like in their early 20s, floating around in the Galleria. And like, I saw this girl like go into this store. She couldn't have been more than about 19 or 20. And she's buying like reprinted, like Onward to Golgotha shirts and like Consuming Impulse and like all these choice death metal shirts that I think she must have figured out fairly recently, but still she was going for the throat. I'm in the store near her, and I almost wanted to say something, but I'm like, she might not speak English, and I don't want her to think I'm trying to pick her up, because everybody wants to know how do you enjoy their women,
Yeah.
So I just let it go, but I was still impressed. I was like, damn, they have not given up the ghost on this. It is so great.
That's cool. That's always cool to see when you see some of the the younger folks getting into the good stuff, the right stuff. It's like yeah. All right, who do you want to jam to next over here on the playlist?
Let's hit 1349. They had a great showing.
All right, let me get this queued up.
Yeah, talk about them when we come back.
Hold on. We shall get it queued here. All right, here we go. 1349, Brazil. All right, there you go. So that was fucking cool. Now I remember you sent me a picture,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you're like, I forgot what you said, but you're like, this dude never, gets old or never gets old. And there was a dude playing drums, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think you sent it to me while you were watching the show or something, and I was like,
Yes.
and I forgot, me, dude, I forgot you were even in Brazil, and I was like, what is? That looks like Frost or something.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, it is Frost.
Frost.
Like, oh, that's right. You're fucking down there.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. How was that watching them again?
It was great. 1349 are longtime friends of mine. We toured together starting in 2007 when they first came to America. We were label mates at that point on Candlelight. And,
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Great guys. Frost is, of course, rarely seen. I think that's changing now, but I went out with 1349 two different times, and they didn't have Frost. But then in 2010, they came 1349 and Triptychon toured together, and Frost was with them then. So that was the first time I got to see him play with them. And then again, of course, in Brazil. And the best part was that, of course, that's the thing. Playing festivals like that for me is such a scam, because basically I am getting paid to go to a fest I would like to go to anyway, and then I have a VIP pass and everything for free, you know? So all I'm doing is just, you know, I'm playing the set and enjoying our set, but then I'm like, awesome, you know, we got done at 5:30. I can watch all the headlining bands from the side of the stage and eat and all that stuff. So, I was on the side of the stage. They had like a stairwell going up, so you could get a really elevated view from. That's where I took that picture, and I got to watch Frost play from the side view the entire time. And I'd never really gotten to watch him actually play before, and he's incredible. Extremely heavy hitter. Not a whole lot of economy of motion. You know, a lot of those guys are really tight and they just kind of barely flick their wrist. He's using his whole elbow. I mean, he's like elbows and knees when he's moving around. It's like
he's playing balls out. Yeah, okay.
Balls out, very much in the style of like Dave Lombardo, where he's like not. There's so many things he doesn't have to do, but he does it out of feeling and emphasis. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, he's so fast. I don't need to tell anybody this, but I mean, when you actually see what he's doing, and when you see that he's not just tapping the snare with his stick, he's actually bringing it like back, and he's just, you know, I mean, he's doing it at top speed, but
he's not doing that little with the flicker thing, you know. He's actually wow.
Yeah, and you can hear it on that video. He's just like, yeah, it's like a machine gun. Yeah, just amazing. Really phenomenal drummer. He's always been one of my favorites since, you know, the early days of Satyricon. And
I only have one Frost story.
Oh, go ahead.
You'll get a kick out of it. Many years ago, I wrote Frost, and I sent them the second Thornspawn demo.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, whatever. Never heard back. Never thought, like, well, I guess he, you know, stupid American shit canned it, right, or something. And then I was reading some interview at Satyricon, you know, like a year or so later. Maybe not even that long, but, you know, it was a while. Like, it was a couple months at least. And they asked him, what do you think of American black metal? And he goes, oh, I'm not word from word, you know, but I'm trying to remember. He goes, like, I got a tape from this Thornspawn band. That was pretty good. And I was like, wow. So I guess he got it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was my only Frost story I can bring to the table. It was like,
it
was Consecration of Evil Flesh demo, the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, to be cited by somebody like him, that's extremely cool.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, fuck, cool, yeah.
The thing I love about Frost is that he's always Frost. That guy, what you see there in the paint, that's him. That's not a put on at all. And I'll tell you guys a quick story about this. Some of you who know me have heard this story before because it's a classic. Triptychon at 1349 were supposed to play Houston as the final date of their tour in 2010. And that date got canceled because it was up against Danzig's Blackest of the Black, which had Marduk and
that was
that
heavy hitting one. Yep.
Yeah, that was a big deal. So what happened was the promoter said, listen, I don't know what he says. He's like, I'm going to just pay you your minimum or whatever. And I'm canceling the show. No one's going to go. He's like, the ticket sales for this were not good because of the Danzig thing. So I said, well, hey, let me and Erica, you know, my wife, we were like, let's go up and catch up with the guys. And I contacted Morgan, you know, from Marduk, and I said, hey, we're all here. Can we just come to the show? He goes, yeah, no problem. I'll get all you in. So pretty much everybody except Tom G, who wanted to just rest and relax. It was all a Triptychon, all of 1349. We rented a van and we drove out to the show. And the part that was hysterical is it was White Oak Music Hall. And when we pulled up, everybody had, you know, bullet belts and, you know, spike bracelets on and all that type of stuff. And we got to the door and the security they're really dicky about it too. They're like, hey, no spikes, no bullets, no nothing. You can't have any of this stuff. And we're like, all looking at each other, we're going, oh, okay. You know, we just started taking our stuff off and taking it back to the van. Frost is standing there, and he's like head to toe. He's almost like Nemesis Divina level armor on.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He's got his eye black on. He's got his armor on, leather pants, bullet belts, everything. And he's standing there. And by the way, he's also got one of those plastic recyclable grocery bags, like, you know, the reusable grocery bags. And I don't know why, but that had more spikes and bullet belts in the bag. I don't know if he was planning on like doing a
loading up more.
Yeah. What's he got?
Reinforcements. Hell yeah, dude.
So
that's awesome.
And he's standing there looking at the security, and he's just like, "What? But this is a metal show." And he didn't budge. He's just standing there, and we all went back and were like, "Okay," put all our stuff in the van, and he didn't move. And he's like, "No, I'm not going in there without all my stuff." You know, he was just like insistent. He's like, "This is a metal show." And I'm like, "Oh shit. Okay."
Standing his ground on it. Good.
Yeah. And so I just texted Morgan. I said, Frost would like to come. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. They're hard-ons about that stuff, I guess, according to Jake. Yeah. But I texted Morgan. I said, "Hey, we're coming to the back door. Frost needs to get in this way." And Morgan pops out, pulls him in, you know. And then we all went through the front entrance and got our guest list tickets or whatever. So then we're all standing on the side of the stage, and Frost is still there, head to toe, spikes, you know, just defiant, just, you know.
I won.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a cool story. I never knew that one.
He's that dude is just a brilliant alien. That's the only way I can describe him. I mean, everybody in 1349 is kind of like that. They're like, I don't want this to sound derogatory because it isn't at all, but remember how after the
what?
I'm just laughing because I just imagine them being bemused at me describing them this way. But remember after the success of Scooby-Doo, Hanna-Barbera came up with a whole bunch of other 4 or 5 character ensemble deals, and they always had like a dog that could talk or a shark that could talk, but everybody was like kind of a character and like had a different funny vibe.
Yeah, like Jabberjaw, Speed Buggy, and all those guys.
Buggy, all that stuff. It was the same formula every time with like a sentient
just change it up,
or a sentient car. But all the rest of the cast were like these just, you know, kind of characters. And to me, 1349 was like if Hanna-Barbera had done a black metal band, because everybody in the band, they're all great guys. They're very legit, but they're all characters in their own way, and they're so funny with each other. They're just, I mean, super cool guys, but they're so different. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. So, like, if they just had a sentient car or a dog that could talk, they would be perfect for that. You know?
They would have a black metal cartoon.
Yes, totally. I mean, it would be way better than that Death Clock deal. I can tell you that right now. Way more entertaining.
It'd probably be more legit for sure. That's
yeah. Anyway, they were fantastic. It was really cool to see them again. I had not seen them as people or perform in a long time, and they've had a lot of shows since last time I saw them. So they're really, really ground in, and that was cool to see.
Was that just one guitarist this time?
Yeah, they haven't had 2 guitarists in forever.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's just been Archaon, the main guy, for a long time.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of weird, right, dude, that they don't get a whole lot of talking about, like, as much as you think they should, because they're one of the, like, bands that don't really sell out, like, you know, like, they're still fast, heavy, black metal.
Yeah, I think it's because they're really... They and Aversifera, we got along really well because we were kind of cut from the same cloth, and that we're really chaotic black metal. Like, their songs don't have lots and lots of hooks in many.
No,
they're just really maelstrom,
abrasive. You know?
Yes, and so I think sometimes that, I mean, they're not doing a Dark Throne type of deal, you know. So I think maybe that kind of precludes it a little bit. But yeah, they're totally legit. And someone in the comments was talking about how foreign bands aren't going to be coming over much, and that is absolutely true. 1349, Triptychon, those bands, they were telling us about how the way things are going, they aren't planning to come back to the States anytime soon.
It's kind of not worth it to get here and get turned back.
No, and they lose money immediately when that happens.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them at all.
That's stupid government crap, man.
That's not who we need to be keeping out, okay? You know? I mean,
I know.
I think we should be like deporting citizens of our own country who do reprehensible shit. That's who we should be focusing on. You commit you kill an old lady or a baby or something, you should get sent to El Salvador. I don't give a fuck if you're a citizen, you know?
Why denying, guys from Sweden and, you know, like, oh yeah, the horrible Sweden terrorist cells.
Oh, I know. Nations that have never given us any trouble whatsoever. You know? And it sucks for those bands because especially like 1349, they worked really hard to build a North American following. I was there for a lot of that.
I remember they would go out on tour a lot.
Yeah. And so for all of that, I mean, they still have fans here, but I mean, for all that effort, they're not able to like keep that going.
And I mean, case in point, Metal Threat, and I'm not dumping on the fest itself because I know it's beyond their control, but if it happened, the way it should have, it'd have been legendary. But here we are again, people getting fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a shame. It's really a waste. And again, this is another case to go to Brazil, to come to Brazil, because that might be a way for you. Like next Setembro Negro, there might be European bands that you're not going to fucking see in America for maybe forever, And if you don't want to like go pay European prices and still see, like I said, a European great fest, go to Brazil, go to Setembro Negro. Really rethink it. People don't think about that and go, oh, I could go to South America. It's actually really easy. They have major airlines that take you there just the way they do to Europe.
Yeah.
The best part is even though it's like a 9-hour flight to get down there, it's only a 2-hour time difference, so you don't get jet lag. But that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, you bounce back a little, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I go to Mexico, too. That's what Jake is saying. I mean...
Yeah, just cross the border, right there.
Yeah, you could do that, too.
Go see Marduk in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Like fucking Nacho is.
Yeah. Go see a donkey show and then go see Marduk, But...
Tijuana, bring your mom to the gangbang. Anybody remember that movie? That was a classic.
Yes. Go get some monkeypox and some yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See some Marduk, the monkey. I mean the donkey show. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'll say this about the whole situation with, as you were just saying, the shows getting canceled, like full tours getting canceled.
Yeah.
It was predicated on them being able to make it to Metal Threat at all. And I think that's probably a mistake. If you only have that one point of opportunity and that doesn't work, then yeah, you're fucked.
The whole domino effect kicks.
Yes.
Yeah, and two, and the people at the damn, the immigration office at the, what do you call it, the customs and all that. Mm-hmm. They see something happen. Oh, what is this happening? Why are all these people, coming here? Are they getting red flagged or something? I don't know how that works, but deny it.
I'll say this much: we had visas and everything very pro for Brazil, so that was not a problem at all. We weren't worried about it. If we were going to be on Brazilian TV, it was okay because we had the proper visas this time.
Yeah, there you go.
When Imprecation went to Chile last year, it was hysterical because we didn't have visas. I think we didn't have anything. We were just showing up.
Are you going as tourists?
Yeah, and we got in. Fine, Nick and I got through, and then Matt got through.
All the white people?
Then, yes. And then and Dave had this big bag. They had all the merch in one big roller case, and they got pulled to the side and were like having to put it on the rack to put it through the x-ray machine. And it was so funny because there was this other American tourist who was, I think, maybe drunk or something. He was like a, tech bro or something.
Yeah.
And he was like a mess and giving them a hard time and trying to get his bag all arranged. And the security that were going to scan Dave and Milton's bag were distracted. And Dave and Milton looked at each other and just pulled their bag off the thing and just walked away and waited for someone to yell at them, and nobody did. So
see ya.
Yeah, basically just bailed on it.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Chile doesn't really care that much, I noticed, but and Brazil, it was funny. They scanned our bags and everything, but when we went through, like I was like, maybe we may have to pay something on this merch. But then they're like, oh no, you're fine. Hey, what band are you in? Brazil. Everybody in Brazil is a metalhead, basically. They love rock, they love metal. So
They still have the culture there for it. That's cool.
yeah, metal societies are amazing. Like you go to Finland and it's like that, for instance. Chile is like that too. Everybody likes. You go to places where hip hop has not corrupted it. Everybody's into rock and metal. Oh, even if you meet some dude who's like 60, he'll be like, "Hey, what band are you in?" "Oh, we're in Imprecation." "Oh, okay. Hey, I'm into Deep Purple," and it's like, "Hey, that's cool too."
I mean, yeah, it's still a culture. It's
Yeah,
like you
totally.
said, it hasn't been corrupted by the whole fucking hip hop thing
Yeah.
and whatever else crappy things they can
Yeah.
bring
Taylor
along.
Swift, fucking bitch.
Yeah, all that ruined all that good music out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right, what's the next band we want to bring
Let's
up
take
on
a
here?
look. I just called it up.
You got Verathron and
Verathron.
Can.
Let's play Verathron.
All right.
Verathron, I'll just quickly say Verathron, they're still going strong. And if you miss the old days of Rotting Christ, you really need to pay more attention to Verathron because they're
Yeah,
really carrying that torch.
they stay true to that sound for sure.
Yeah, and there's such just an intense live band, and Necrobicius, their singer, who's a founding member of the band. That dude, it is so funny. In his street clothes, he just looks like just this, older Greek guy, like a regular dude, like someone's dad or maybe even granddad. And then he gets up on stage, he's got that hood and this eye black on, and he just goes fucking nuts. I mean, you're going to see it right now, and I'll tell you more about it.
All right,
Yeah, Stefan. Stefan is an awesome dude, really a cool guy. So, yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. That was so freaking loud and heavy. The microphone could barely handle it. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to get you, but it was crackling like crazy. I felt like I was there with the
yeah,
headphones on.
yeah,
But how? Yeah, man, a lot of. I can feel the energy. You know,
yes.
you could just see it. You know, and then the crowd, you know, singing along and doing the parts of the keyboards. I love that shit, dude.
Yes. Yeah, it really, I mean, perfect for that setting. In case you're wondering, that was on a second stage. That was
I
actually,
thought so. It looked a little smaller.
Mhm. It's a club stage, but I mean, it worked because all the bands that played on that stage, they didn't suffer for it in that there was like that room was completely full, and
Oh
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
right
You
on
can tell.
top of the crowd. Like I'm glad we got to play the big stage with the big sound and the big lights. That was really, really excellent. But at the same time, if we had played that other stage, it would have been like even more underground because we would have been right on top of the crowd, and that would have been a different vibe.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly, I never mind playing the small stage because to me it usually sounds a little better on
Hmm.
stage for me. And yeah, and you're just right there, you know, in the thick of things with the crowd too. So that's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But then too, sometimes cool light shows are fun too, and all that. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean. Either way, I'm not going to complain. You know, like
yeah.
wherever they
And-
you get put on stage or whatever.
Yeah, and it was funny because, like I was saying, we were based on when we were going on. People were not people, but we were watching people slowly come in to the room while we were setting up, and there
Uh
was a little bit of worry that maybe because we were playing early, the room wouldn't be very full. And I said, there's a set going on downstairs right now, and they're like,
huh.
oh. And as soon as that was done, and like the schedule
Right
was
up.
really tight, and then you just
Yeah.
filled right up. So that was perfect.
That's always cool too when they have it the two stage. So you know, there's really not a lot of running late and all that because everybody gets their time to set up and do things. And
Yeah, we had a 45-minute changeover. That was perfect.
I heard about a disaster in L.A. about the last like black metal fest up there where it ran really late and
Ah,
everybody got kind of screwed over towards the end. I hate that. You know, it sucks.
that's bullshit. I hate that so fucking much.
And then, yeah, these headliner bands, you know, they get the short end of the stick that everybody paid to see. I mean,
yeah, that happened to Morbosa died.
that's exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
yeah, fucking bullshit. And like then these bands that nobody's even there for. I mean, to be fair,
They get full sets.
they get
And
these full sets, and then it just
setup
becomes this
times.
diminishing
Yeah.
return. It's like,
Yeah. Perfect way to say it. Diminishing return.
yeah, it's not fair. It's not right. It's bull fucking shit.
Right.
I'm going on the record with that right now. There should be
Keep your
always
shit on time.
timekeeping.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been in positions like we're not prima donnas, but I have been in positions before with bands where pretty much it's like, okay, you're opening for us or whatever. It's like this is running late. Or you guys took too long to get on stage. You've got two choices. You get to play for 10 minutes or you can play after us, and we're the headliners. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's only happened a couple of times, but that's just not acceptable. It's like, no, we're
Yeah.
not.
I mean, I've been on, yeah, we all done that where they ask you, hey, can you cut a song or two? And we're like, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
one
get,
thing.
I
That's one
get
thing.
it. Yeah, we'll cut it. I'll
Yeah.
like cut the longest song. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
I just don't understand festivals that don't have a stage manager who's just watching the clock and that's his only job. You know?
I mean, it has to be on time.
I mean, it's really interesting though, because at no point, I'm realizing this, at that festival, no one gave us like a high sign or one, oh, you got 5 minutes or nothing like that. And I don't see that for any of the bands we were playing with. And I think it was because all the bands on this festival were serious and experienced. And they went, okay, we have 45 minutes to play. We will design our set to be exactly 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, exactly. So there was not a problem in the
Not one of those bands where they're already running over. Who wants to hear another one? Like, really, dude? Really?
I am proud to say when I was the stage manager for Marduk, I cut opening bands off in the middle of the fucking song. I told him, it's like, you got 30 minutes.
I seen that, and I also remember one of my favorite memories of you being Marduk's stage manager was it in Canada? There was a mic, and the kid grabbed it and started yelling, and you.
Oh, you were there for that. That's
yeah,
right.
You grabbed it out and you clocked him on the head.
No, I didn't do that.
No, that's how I remember it. You like,
no, I didn't hit him with. No, I grabbed the mic away from him. But what I did, I'll quickly tell this story. It was really cool. Stage lights all went down. It got super.
He hit him on the head. He's trying not to get sued. That's how I remember.
No, the lights went down and like they had their intro, and it's just like, and everybody's like, yeah! And the room is completely dark. And I'm like using the little flashlight to go back. I'm heading towards Marduk to lead them to the stage. And I suddenly hear this drunken yelling, this dude just going, yeah! And I turn around, I'm like, shit! And I ran back out to the stage because he's on Mortuous's mic. And I just, in the darkness, just ran up behind him and kicked him as hard as I could in the back, like, like a doorbuster kind of kick him. Yeah. Bam! And he's like, ah! And then I yanked the mic away from him and threw him off the stage, put the mic back up, ran back. And it was so funny because Marduk's right behind the door and Morgan's like, what was that? I'm like, never mind. Come on.
The Marduk guys. Fucking Costco.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I think about it now. It's just like I mean, I don't know. It's like I kicked that guy as hard as I could, and right in the kidney. Yeah. So I mean, I should learn from that.
No, see, my story, I don't think it was that. This was a different time than what I remember.
There for that one.
No, because I remember I was just like kind of saying side stage, and I think he put the mic, or just threw the mic on the ground, and but the show wasn't over yet. But some kid grabbed it.
He jumped up at the end. It was going, come on,
yeah. And I just remember you grabbing the mic because as I remember it, he was still like in the crowd, but leaning against the stage or whatever.
Yes,
you pulled it away and the head went in.
I remember that now.
And I was like, oh. That kid was all, ooh.
Yeah, that was two different incidences. Yeah, I bashed him with the. Yeah, I'm an asshole that way. I mean, hey man, it's fucking Marduk. It's like
live shows are stressful too. You can't be fucking around, dude. God,
but damn. I am Marduk's. I like remember the mouth of Sauron in
oh yes, yeah.
I am Marduk's mouth of Sauron. You fuck around, I'm the guy that they send. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be nice about it. Ever.
Jeff, get him.
What's going on? Get the guy off my mic, Jeff. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, and nothing like that at all happened at this festival. Everyone was extremely respectful, extremely cool, and just there for all the right reasons. There's no posers, no trendies, no weekenders. Everybody there was there for all the right reasons. That was my favorite part. It's like,
isn't that wonderful when it's a metal fest with metal heads in it? Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. It's like you have fests in the States, and now you have to count on this whole percentage of weekenders, like people who are just going there like it's like a joke.
Ironically going to the metal show. Yeah,
ooh, let's go to this metal festival. I hear you can punch people and get away with it, and then then they
stupid idiots like that. Yep.
Yeah, but then they get punched and freak out.
Why'd you hit me? Because you're being a fucking jackass. Well, that's why.
Yeah. But yeah, there was nothing like that there. Brazil is true blue, like I said. I mean, South American metal fans are true blue. You can't be a poser there. You're going to get ostracized. The way it should be.
Yeah. No false no entry.
If you're a Ghost fan, you're in a different category. You
go to different shows.
Yeah. You don't show up to the Setembro Negro in the Ghost shirt. I mean, I'm sure somebody did, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not the right.
No,
most people understand like the difference.
Yeah, none of the Viper wraparound sunglasses, none of that. No trucker hat bullshit. Everybody there is just for real. And one of the reasons I've always loved it, that at the height of our popularity there, Versafira had a Portuguese language website, if that tells you anything. We were really locked. Oh, yeah, we were locked in with them. I mean, Tetragrammatical Astigmata came out on a Brazilian label.
That's right. You guys signed with that Brazilian label. That's correct.
So yeah, we have a really strong connection there. And again, it was. I actually met people at this festival
Uh-huh.
who saw us play in 2003. I couldn't believe that. That was
Jeez,
really,
that's almost
really
like
great.
that is over 20 years now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Keep the flat brims.
out. Yeah,
Correct.
for real.
Sorry, Shred Beard. You're gonna have to remove the shred. I mean the flat brim
Flat
in
brim.
Mexico and below.
Yes, I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
But,
All right, let's you got Incan or Macabre?
let's play Incantation first because I have a lot to say about Macabre actually.
Okay. Let me get this queued up. It's good to see Incan fucking doing well nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. I have more to say about that too.
All right, here we go. Some Incantation coming up. All right, there you go. Incantation.
They sounded great.
That sounded real good.
Yeah.
They,
Go
go
on.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say apparently that was like a requested old school set that they played, and they had to brush up on some of those songs like with only like a week's notice.
Oh, really?
They did really well. We got Chuck Sherwood in the band, Charlie Corrin on drums, and then guitarist from the other band, Dismemberment, and I don't remember his name, but he's a cool guy too. All kind of regular members of Incantation these days. So yeah, sounded really good.
Yeah, it's cool to see Chuck with Incantation, man. Cool.
Yeah,
getting out there.
Chuck's a cool guy.
Yeah, I've known him for a while. He's a cool dude. John's cool.
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure everyone else is cool.
It was so funny because since it's Brazil and since we were at a very nice hotel, they had a really secure elevator where you had to do the key card to get to your floor, and you could not go to any other floors other than your floor. But then the problem is that if you didn't put where it breaks down is that if you put your key card in and it didn't take for whatever reason, and there's other people in the elevator, and like I was on the second floor, and it was a 13th floor, I think 14, actually I think it was like a 20 floor building. You could end up having to ride to the 20th floor with the other people if they were going to 20 because you're like, shit, you know? Yeah. So everybody's like riding endlessly up and down the elevators because of this. And I ended up in the elevator with McEntee, who, you know, I've known John for years, but we just kept running into each other in the elevator, just like, hey, what's up? Hey, you know, and we're just like
taking a trip on the elevator again.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they were really cool. And again, I was glad to see them do their thing. And I was like going, God, it's what's old is new again. I saw Incantation. I don't think you were at that show, but it was me and Link and Fruit and a few other people. We saw Incantation on Onward to Golgotha in '92 at Taco Land. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Taco, by the way, for those of you who don't know what Taco Land is, that is basically a pool hall with a little stage in it in San Antonio, kind of near Hog Wild Records. So,
it was a dive, basically back then. Yeah,
it was so bizarre to see them play there, but super cool for like 30 people. And now they're playing all over the world and playing to big crowds and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's like back when, you go to an Incantation show, you'd be lucky at 30, 40 people showed up.
Yeah. I mean,
things are different for them now.
They slugged it out for a long fucking time.
Yeah, they earned their fucking due. Yeah.
So,
all right. You want to check out some Triptychon or Macabre?
Macabre next. Let's do Macabre.
All right. Let's keep the show rolling.
Yeah.
Get it set up here real quick for you guys. Here we go. Some Macabre, Brazil.
Awesome.
Called Serial Killer. It's called The Wheels on the Bug Go Round and Round. Thank you. Let's hear it for Ted Bundy. Thank you, Ted.
Now there you go. That's some fun stuff. Compared to all this other heavy death, and black metal, and here comes Macabre, and
yeah, and they're just kind of. I mean, Macabre trades on being sort of ludicrous, but in like
for sure. But it's still fucking good.
Oh yeah, and a couple things I'll say about that. It's like that that song they were just playing goes on, I think, a little too long, but it's funny. And the thing I'd really like to point out is if you probably noticed the performance of Dennis the Menace, Dennis Ritchie on drums.
Gosh, yeah.
That dude is a fucking fiend. I was always a fan of old Macabre, like particularly the demo and the first two albums in particular. Mm-hmm. And I got to sit on the side of the stage. That's only the second time I've ever seen Macabre ever, and got to watch Dennis play. And that dude immediately went into my top 10 favorite drummers, because I always loved his playing, and watching him play was just insane. I mean, a lot of you guys are probably not. I don't play drums, but I'm kind of a drum geek at heart. And
I appreciate a kick-ass drummer. Yes.
Yeah. Another really hard-hitting player. He actually had his own kit specification. Like, they actually tore down the kit that was up there and gave him a different one, because he plays with his toms. You know how like everybody's kind of got their toms kind of at an angle.
Yeah.
His are almost like straight on. He's like hitting them like those Japanese drums, like the doom, doom, doom kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's got this huge snare. He's got giant cymbals all around him. I mean, he's basically like the Neil Peart of death metal, and he plays like fucking Neil Peart. I mean, he was doing. Nick and I from Imprecation are watching him and going, he doesn't need to do half of the shit that he's doing. It's like Prescriptor, where he's just filling up all that space. It's like to play this riff, he doesn't have to do all the things that he's doing, but he was doing it anyway. And you know how like the drummer when they're doing the kicks, like the kick beaters are, about like this far, from if you're looking at it from the side.
Yeah.
This far. His were like back here, like 80s style. And he's clearing that.
Flying that.
Yeah, they're basically like coming back and like, resting on the tops of his feet when he was like letting up on them. It was insane.
Yeah, because that doubles has always been fucking fast.
Yeah, and those weren't triggers either. He was just like wailing on it. And I mean, that guy's the fastest player I've ever seen who doesn't do blasts. He doesn't do any blasts. He's just playing like the maximum speed you can play for
without blasting.
Without blasting. Yeah. And I mean, and he was doing all kinds of like 70s rock star kind of drummer shit. Like he'd do reverse rolls in certain parts. Like you go, I mean, just
That's
insane.
Sounds so good too when you hear it, right? It
yeah.
Gives the song so much more life and dimension to it when you had all these when you got a great drummer on the set.
Yeah.
And it helps.
Yeah, like they played that song Serial Killer that you just played. I'm sitting there in the back and I'm like, over the music, I am just yelling, holy shit, because he was just incredible. And he turned out to just be the coolest guy. Like, I went up and talked to him. And I said, man, I'm an original Macabre fan. And, those guys are not rock stars in the least. They've been doing it for 40 years now. They are now, I told them they need to actually contact the Guinness Book of World Records. And I was dead serious because they're now the longest continually running band with original members that has never broken up and never changed a member. They've set the record. They're now.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these bands, like, we've been together. And J-Dog, points this out, and I do agree with him. Like a lot of bands, we've been together, 30 years. Like, you took 20 years off.
Yes.
You can't claim that you've been together. You have to been since your demo to now. That's when you were.
Or like Napalm Death, they never broke up, but they don't have any original members.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, let's play the headliner. Mm-hmm. Right? Triptychon was the headliner, or one of the headliners?
Was the headliner. And
okay.
They played Sunday night to just an overstuffed house. I mean, it was incredible.
Sunday night, too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How many nights was this fest?
3. It was
Friday, Saturday,
Sunday. And yeah, people were all in for the whole fucking thing.
Very cool.
Yeah, go ahead and let's play it, and then we can talk about it.
Sure. Triptychon doing Celtic Frost and we go. All right. Yeah, that obviously sounded fucking great.
Yeah, it's kind of a highlights reel for that one. I was realizing, but I liked it because you felt, you feel like what it was like in the crowd.
Yeah,
People were way into it, and
packed as fuck, too, man. Jeez.
yeah,
Everybody's on nuts to butts, as they say. It was fucking crazy.
And it was really cool because it worked out because they actually played, all a whole ton of classics from the Celtic Frost catalog, but then they even played a few songs from Monotheist. And,
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And normally when they do that, they have to have the down-tuned guitars for Monotheist, which is also the Triptychon tuning. But then they had the standard tuning for the old songs. That's what they did, like at Hell's Heroes, for instance. But because apparently Tom had to go back and then immediately play a show with Triumph of Death, the Hellhammer tribute. Yes. He needed his guitars for that over there, and so he had to leave those behind. So they just went with the Triptychon tuning. And I thought that was really pretty cool because then the songs were extremely heavy.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Procreation.
Yeah.
It sounded real heavy. It actually sounded, I don't know, it sounded kind of better than when they performed that down-tuned versions of those songs with Celtic Frost to me.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know why.
Specifically because, and just for people's edification, Tom and I have been friends for quite a while, and I actually got to catch up with him, and we talked a lot. And we were talking about when Celtic Frost actually came back, and they were touring in 2006. They played those songs, but they played them slower, like on purpose, because they were trying to sort of reintroduce themselves, and they had Monotheist, which was heavier and slower, and they didn't want to make it sort of
maybe that's what it. Yeah, I think me and you had a disagreement. I was like, I don't like it. I remember like, and I think you were like, well, but whatever. But I remember I didn't. That's probably why they just slowed it down to kind of sludgier, more style.
Yeah, and Tom said, looking back, he's like, I think that was a mistake. Those songs were not being correctly interpreted. He's like, that's why we play them at the correct speed now. He's like, the only one we still slow down a little more is Procreation of the Wicked, because that lends.
Yeah, so heavy. Yeah, it makes sense on that one.
They played that song Return to the Eve, which I had never heard live with them, and it was so great because you know how in the middle of that song they had the voiceover, that really flat delivery, clearly one of their girlfriends back in the day, that take my soul away to the dark, dreaming 1,000 more of a dreams. You remember that part in the song?
Yeah.
Well, it's hilarious because I wasn't expecting this, but Vanya, their bassist, she got on the mic and did the part, and she did.
Oh, she did it.
Yeah,
cool.
She did it just like the album, and I was like, that rules, because it was just perfect. And that particular song, that was so fucking heavy. I loved hearing it down tuned. It was so great.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that down tuned, but at the proper, pacing of the songs, perfect. Yeah, it sounded heavy as hell, man.
Yeah, great. And it was just a crush. I mean, it was one of those things where like a good sized pit broke out, but it was one of those things where it was almost not able to happen because there's so many fucking people in there.
You can't even make the space for a pit. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, as you guys see, it was amazing. Just phenomenal. It was so cool to be present for all of that. I didn't want to forget this. We ended up, like I said, we were hanging out with Dennis from Macabre, and one thing I was going to mention is that all those bands, we've talked about this on the show before, but all those bands from like the late 80s and early 90s were living their lyrics. They were doing all this shit that they were, I was going to say they were doing all the shit that they were singing about, except rape. That was the one thing I don't think any of the bands were really actively doing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a cool thing. Yeah.
But Deicide were branding themselves. All these guys were doing all this shit. And Macabre, they were for real with the whole serial killer thing. They weren't just singing about it. They were actually involved. If you look online, you can find a whole series of pictures with Corporate Death and then Dennis the Menace with John Wayne Gacy in prison. They actually went out and visited him and got to know him. And the part that killed me is that Dennis is a funny guy. You remember that comedian Norm Macdonald?
Shucks, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of comes off like Norm Macdonald. He kind of has that Midwestern voice, you know. He's just sort of, and he was talking about. He's like, yeah, I'm all of like 20 years old, and he's like, I'm visiting John Wayne Gacy. He's like, and the two things that really stuck out. He's like, at one point, he's like, I was a little weirded out, because we're locked in this room, right? And I'm a little weirded out, and Gacy's got like his handcuffs on. He comes around. And he goes, hey, buddy, you seem like you're a little bit tense. You need to relax. And he started massaging my shoulders. And yeah, he said that creeped him out pretty good. But then he had the nerve. Dennis had the nerve to ask Gacy. He goes, hey, you were a home builder, right? You're like in construction and home building. He goes, yeah. I did a whole bunch of that. He goes, well, how come you didn't think to make the crawl space under your house bigger?
Got him.
Casey got pissed.
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like, hey, what, you think you're a fucking funny guy? This whole thing. And like basically told Dennis he's gonna like feed him to this psychopath biker in the next room or whatever. None of that happened, obviously.
Of course not, yeah. That's funny.
He couldn't believe he had the nerve he was like locked in the room with the guy and had the nerve to ask him that.
Maybe he was, like, why didn't you make it bigger? Was there
he's
a
like,
reason?
why didn't you make the crawl space under your house bigger? Probably, I was like going, he probably wasn't anticipating doing all that shit at the time that the house was built,
I'm sure. He was kind of winging it,
Who's dead? Who's what?
Yeah, who are you talking about here, Justin? Oh, Norm Macdonald. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he died of cancer a couple of years ago. Poor guy.
Yep. Funny because did I ever tell you this when we were with Marduk and this ain't as cool as that story, but there's this dude that was in Chicago, and I was talking with him, and he was like the death metal John Candy, and you know how John Candy's from Chicago too,
yeah.
Or Canada, but all the movies, Chicago based. That's
Chicago.
what I mean.
Yep.
And I was sitting there talking with this dude, and he's like, well, let me tell you, Carl, and I was like, who is this dude remind me of? This was my fucking John Candy. And he had that whole, hey, Carl, let me tell you, I've been hearing your band. And it just like if you were talking. The fucking John Candy, dude. I wish I had that on video, man. That dude was cool. But he had a total John Candy thing. I think the dude was actually from Milwaukee, but drove down to the show. Yeah, dude.
I've noticed people through that kind of the center of the country, like the Midwest, the North Midwest, all the way up into Canada, they all kind of sound the same.
Yeah, they got some. And he was a big guy, kind of bigger guy, but long hair, had the round John Candy, chubby face. I was like, holy shit! I was like, man, I wish Bear was here right at this moment. Bear would have been like, holy shit, fucking metal John Candy. Yeah. Oh well, that was a funny moment. Let me tell you, Carl. All right, dude. Well, this was cool, dude. Thanks for recapping this with us, man. That was a very fucking cool, cool stories. I'm glad you got to go experience that.
Yeah.
Again, you lucky bastard. But how cool, man. That's Imprecation, making new fans down in Brazil and playing a great fest, dude. Look at top tier. It looked top tier to me. I can't, say anything else, man.
Fantastic. And I just want to take an opportunity again to thank Eduardo Lane and his fantastic crew who took great care of us, really treated us well, treated everybody well. It was excellent. It was so great to be back. And I want to thank all the fans who came out and supported. It was so great to see some old friends and meet so many new people. And we really appreciate the support. It was amazing. We will be back. That is in the plan. So
well, look at that. You're already on return trip. Cool.
Yeah, it won't be another 20 years. I can promise you that. So
20 years. Wow. Well, congrats on everything, dude. That was great stories and visit the videos. Thanks for picking those videos out too.
Yeah.
Video tells 1,000 words, right? Just watch it instead of having to talk about it.
Jake, we went to Fogo de Chao, which is they have that in the States too, but down there it's considered the real deal. The Angelica is long gone, apparently closed down permanently. We were really sad about that.
Oh, Brazilian steakhouses.
Yeah.
The real ones. Yeah.
God, they won't stop giving you the meat. Like even when you turn the card over.
That's what she said. Yeah.
They keep, yeah.
I had
They
to.
keep coming over. They keep fucking coming over.
I know.
Yeah, and then they always try to like foist fried bananas on you, and even if you're not asking for them, they can't get rid of those things. And there's like here. It was like,
like no.
Yeah.
Take. I mean, you do pay some good money to eat there. You might as well eat as much as you can, I suppose.
Hell yeah! I mean, it was expensive even for Brazil. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was still like $70. You know, American. You know, it's kind of. I was amazed. I'm like, who in this country has this kind of money? You know, or are you part of Bolsonaro's cabinet or something? You know,
I don't. Cartel members. I have no idea,
yeah.
Man.
Anyway.
All right, Jeff.
Thank you
man.
so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it, and I will be back.
Yep.
Whenever. See you guys at the Harrod if you're coming out. That's going to be amazing. See everybody tomorrow. Carl, are you going?
No, of course not.
No. God,
No.
the fuck. It's Beharrett.
I know, but I'm not going.
That's
Nope.
okay. Remember that flyer you made years ago that I'm not going?
Yeah, that's me nowadays. I'm not going.
Yeah.
No, but I am in San Antonio. There's I mean, it's obviously not Beharrett, but there's a shit ton of shows coming through.
Yeah.
I might as well show these right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see what I got here. That I will be very active here in town going to some shows, which is, not usually the case, but some good stuff coming through. Let me find. Here we go. Now,
Yeah.
Corpse isn't on here anymore, apparently.
Momentum.
Yeah, it's just them guys, but still come out and check that out at Brewster's. Crucimentium's going to annihilate, so. And it features your drummer, Matt.
Yeah,
from
that's
Imprecation.
Matt on drums. I'm going to be over here so you can see him.
Yeah. Hey, all right. Yeah, so that'll be in Brewster's on the south side. So check that out. And what else do I have up here? Anything else? Is this? And then,
nice.
Yeah. Pius Levis is playing with Church Aside, Empty Chalice, and Perdition Tempo.
Yeah.
November 15th at High Tones here in San Antonio. So Pius Levis obviously doesn't play a lot, so if you want to check us out, that'll be one of your opportunities, because I don't know when we're playing again. After that, we haven't scheduled anything. Still recording. We got guitar tracks done finally,
Nice.
so
Nice.
it's bass. Some tracks got bass, some don't. So bass, vocals, and leads, and that thing will be done. Then we just got to do the rest. And I think that's all I have up here, because all this other stuff happened already. Oh, no. We got one more show.
Yeah.
Fucking Necro Joe and Necro Blades coming to town. Here I am.
Cool.
Yeah, they'll be at the Rah Rah Room.
What's with all these weird venues?
I think they can't think of any names anymore.
Well, I know, but it's just like I've never heard of any of these.
Yeah, this is a new one. Well, new to me. I mean, I think it's been around for a couple months now, but at least it's on San Pedro Road, and it has its own parking, so that's always nice.
That's nice.
Worm King, God Butcher, and Demonic Knights. November 1st. So
nice.
Necroblade kicks ass.
Necroblade is cool.
Yeah, so all these, it'll be a good death metal, evil metal show. So
yeah,
we'll be out at that one too.
Sweet. All right.
And if you didn't catch my Cyrenax interview, watch that one, because those dudes were awesome. They're real cool.
Nice.
Dudes.
That's so cool that you're bringing all the Texas legend bands back.
Somebody has to. Yeah. Some of these bands would have, who knows what would have happened, if they gotten signed and did their thing. But
yeah.
Yep. Try to get some more cult ones here soon. So, all right, man.
Very nice.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks a bunch. Thanks,
all
everybody.
Right. Thanks, everybody. We are out.
Take care.
Miss A, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We'll catch you next time. Let me get the outro. All right, here we go.